Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you're watching another live edition of the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of not just the news, but answers that you can use. Like an answer to the question, Chris, is your desk still a mess? You have no idea. It is so bad. It's full of awesomeness. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy to have this messy desk, but I've been meaning to push through some show and tell videos that I want to do on a weekly basis, like this week's Star Wars haul, because I've got some Star Wars stuff. So I just haven't done it yet. So I'm going to try to get that done, or at least some of it done tonight, to get some of this stuff put away. That being said, one of the things that I've just picked up is small, but very, very important, because today I wanted to quote one of my favorite movies of all time, Tron, and it's apropos because I have the Tron figure. This is not the original Tron figure. I got it in the case. You'll see it in the vlog if you watch the Pirillo vlogs. I got it. This is, I believe, a cast of the original mold that was done for, what was it, the 20th anniversary of the movie. When I was younger, of course, I saw Tron. Not in theaters, though. When it ran on the Disney Channel. Loved it. Became one of my favorite movies. Still is. There's actually Tron news coming up, too, that I'll share with you today. Spoiler alert, Tron 3.0 is coming soon at some point. You know, Tron 1, which wasn't really 1, it was the first one, then 2, then 3. So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt anybody's name there. They deserve all the credit here. Tons of bonuses await you if you're one of the patrons at chrispirillo.com. Well, that's a redirect to the Patreon campaign currently. So, I got this figure because, well, I only had the Flynn figure growing up. I may have had the disc at one time. This is his identity disc right there. But this is Tron. This is actually well, not actually Tron. It's not the guy who played Tron, but it's just the figure. I never collected the Tron figures when I was a kid. I traded to get the Flynn figure, but that was the only Tron figure from the movie that I had. But I was always a fan of the scale, always a fan of the design, and the markings here I do believe still glow in the dark. So the reason I'm talking about Tron so much, yes, Tron 3.0. I guess a couple of the actors are coming back. But the reason why, okay, now that everybody's name, the credit has come, I can hold it a little closer because I didn't want to, get in front of anybody's name. Because one of the things I wanted to say, more than anything, my ethos when it comes to a lot of technology, we're talking about hardware, we're talking about software, we're talking about services. I don't geek out over anything. It's hardware, therefore it's awesome. No. Here's the reason why. I fight for the user. And that's one of my favorite lines of all time, spoken by Tron. I believe it was Tron. It's been so long since I've seen the movie. I fight for the user. He fights for the user. And I always fought for the user. I've always fought for the user. Now, if I've misquoted anything, I'm paraphrasing here. Someone fought for the user. Now, Flynn was the user, or would have been considered a user, not necessarily a program. But I just got this figure today. I do plan on doing kind of a show and tell possibly on these, maybe even a CPU as to, why I liked Tron, 5 reasons why I loved the Tron movie, holding up the figures after I've removed them from the packaging. But there we go, Tron, it's so cool. So awesome. Okay, Tron, you stand guard right there. Just stand. Doesn't stand very well. He's kind of wobbly. Tron's a little wobbly. You need to know that. You also need to know that today is National Beer Day. So here we go. I hope everybody has a drink. If you're legal to drink, or if you're old enough to drink, legal to drink. Boy, I haven't even started drinking yet. I will be imbibing a very fine Elysian Dragon's Tooth Stout. I've done a review on this. I don't know if it's gone public yet, but I've done a few different beer reviews. I'm not a beer reviewer. I'm a beer drinker. Love this. This is one of my favorite stouts of all time. And so this is the one I chose to drink today. I've already reviewed it. And if you're a patron, aka one of the Supernomies, you can watch that review now in the unlisted playlist. Everybody else can stay tuned until that goes live if you want, my review on it. I'm going to be drinking it out of this glass. This is probably the only oatmeal stout that I've ever liked, to the point where it's like one of my favorite stouts of all time. So this video is either going to go uphill or downhill from there. Either way, happy National Beer Day. Cheers. I'm raising my glass to you. We've posted a roundup of fun beer things on LockerGnome.com. Also, it would be nice if I still had some of these. The Pepperoncini potato chips review, Kettle brand. I love pepperoncinis. They're good. They're tasty. But what did I think about the potato chips? I posted that. See, that's the thing. Beer, snacks, these things are very geeky. Don't tell me, oh no, I don't eat or drink anything when I play video games at all. So I don't think eating or drinking is nerdy at all. It is. It's especially new potato chip flavors and awesome beer flavors. Last chance to get Icon. Not an Icon. Icon, their Bluetooth speaker, is currently 80% off at deals.lockergnome.com. We also have the AudibleListener 30-day gold subscription. Gold. I love gold. Gold is best. That is currently free, deals.lockergnome.com. That's a huge bonus, 30-day gold subscription. And the SOS Online Infinite Cloud Backup 2-year subscription, 67% off. Man, I'm drooling on myself. That was kind of an enticing deal. Amazing things await you at deals.lockergnome.com. Geeky all around, too. And, backup isn't really geeky, but it is something that you should do. So just let that discount serve as a reminder that you should be doing that. The iPad turned, happy birthday, iPad, turned 5 years old on Friday. This thing's 5 years, well, not this one. This is the iPad Air 2, which I already reviewed as well. I'm thinking about doing a special What's on My iPad video for patrons later this week. Let me know what you think. That'll be an exclusive to the patrons. Of course, anybody would want to tune into that, I'm sure. But, can you believe that 5 years ago we didn't have the iPad and the tablet revolution hadn't started? Oh, well, Microsoft, you never talk about Microsoft. Microsoft had the tablet PC way back in the day, Chris, and you never give Microsoft credit, even though I know you've talked about them in the past. You never give them credit for having the first tablet PC. I was trying to put words in somebody else's mouth. No, I love Microsoft. I do. I share my opinions about Microsoft all the time. Tips, tricks, suggestions, all the time. And I just have to show you this. Well, I'm kind of on the subject of iPads and bringing Microsoft into it. Did you know that Microsoft had a lot of software available for iOS, including Office? Yeah. And did you know that Windows 10 is going to be final coming this summer? Oh, yeah. And they're already suggesting that there's going to be another version or an update to Windows 10 in another year or so. So I still use Microsoft Windows, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, I wanted to show everybody, this is my Microsoft Most Valuable Professional Award. Professional? I am very professional. For 2015, right here. Check it out. Oh, wait, does it slide up here? Okay, I gotta open it. I don't want to rip anything. There we go. Okay. Chris Pirillo, Windows Experience, April 1st, 2015. Okay, now that's just funny. That's almost like an April Fool's Day joke, but this is for real. This is for real. I got my award right here. So, I'm all about experience. I fight for the user. Here, hang on. This is like perfect. Here, where's my, oh, I'm sorry. I put Tron over here. I always fight for experience. I fight for the user. I fight for the user. Any suggestion I'm going to make, any guidance that I'm going to give is going to be for the user. Microsoft does recognize that. I am very, very proud to be an MVP for Windows Experience, even if the date says April 1st, 2015. That's pretty funny. That's classy. So, come on. Even Microsoft recognizes the feedback that I give them as valuable. Because hey, you know what? I'm a straight shooter. I'm going to tell you like I see it. See it like I see it. I'm going to tell it like it is, from my perspective. HBO Now. HBO Now has launched in the U.S. on Apple TV, iOS, and Cablevision's Optimum online for $14.99 a month. $14.99. You can have HBO. And you don't need any other service tied to that HBO subscription. $15 a month. And let me tell you, you want to do that when Game of Thrones is back on in a few weeks. You really do. Come on, Game of Thrones. Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones. Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones, yeah. Game of Thrones. Speaking of Game of Thrones, I saw the most amazing, I guess it was a parody, this month, because I guess the month just kind of started, so that's not saying much. Sesame Street has been doing parodies with their Muppets with modern themes in shows. So a few weeks ago, they did one on House of Cards. It was wonderful. Perfect, because I like House of Cards. They did that very well. Then they just recently, I think yesterday, uploaded a new parody that parodies Game of Thrones, only it's Game of Chairs. Oh, it is perfect. It is perfect. I cannot wait to watch these with Jedi. Jedi's going to love them because they're Muppets, right? I'm going to love them at a different level. because I love that stuff. So they're modernizing, right? I think they've really kind of latched on to pop culture in such a way that I would never have expected that institution to do. And yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Sesame Street is an institution. I grew up with it, and much like the Crackmaster freaked the hell out of me. Someone uploaded that video to YouTube. I think it was called Crackmaster. They uploaded that video to YouTube. It is crazy. Crazy. That thing gave me nightmares. I was so scared of that cartoon snippet. Crackmaster. Look it up on YouTube. I won't even link it. I don't even want to link it. Freaked me out. And apparently other kids, if you do a search for this, other kids got equally as freaked out over the same little segment that Sesame Street ran. I watched it again. It sent chills down my spine. Ugh. Freaked me out. Anyway, Sesame Street, Game of Thrones parody. Awesome. Next on my list, after HBO, the Game of Thrones, starting Sunday. You'll know where I'll be. Whoa. I gotta announce this too. Well, I'm not announcing anything, really. I was one of the first people to see, come across my social radar last night, that it is official. The HBO. I'm moving on from HBO, people. Star Wars movies are finally going to be released officially in a digital capacity. That means they are fully licensed, and they're coming from a variety of providers. So you can get it through iTunes, you can get it through Disney Movies Anywhere, you can get it through Google Play, you can get it through Vudu. Is that the name of it? I didn't really use that app all that much. You can get it from a variety of sources. Xbox as well. Brandon LeBlanc. Brandon, how do you say your last name? I know he's not watching. Is it LeBlanc? Anyway, he's been working for Microsoft for years. Really good guy. He says, "Oh, you can get it on the Xbox." I'm like, "Well, I don't really have an Xbox anymore. I gotta have a 360, but I don't use it all that much." I made him very sad. So anyway, you can get it on a variety of platforms. It's very price competitive too, with all these bonuses. Right now, the two best prices to get the entire two trilogies together in a bundle is either Amazon. The link is in the video description. I'll share it with you. Or Vudu. They both have it for like $89 for all 6. Now, you compare that to iTunes outright, which is $20 a movie, a la carte. There is no bundle on iTunes. That's because, and there's no bundle, and I don't think there's any discount on Google Play either. And I think the reason why is that Google Play doesn't need to worry about a discount. Apple or iTunes doesn't need to worry about a discount. They know people are going to buy it because it's all about ecosystem. So you can get the Star Wars movies digitally anywhere. These aren't reinventions. They aren't really special editions necessarily. They're built upon the special editions, aka, or I guess, i.e., id est. What's the best Latin phrase that I could use in this situation? E.g., exemplum gratum, caveat emptor? No. Well, yeah, actually, caveat emptor, they're based on the Blu-rays. So if you didn't like the Blu-ray editions, or I didn't buy the Blu-ray editions of the Star Wars movies. Didn't even bother. I still have the DVDs, VHS of the original trilogy, special editions, and I even have copies of the Laserdisc movie, like of the original trilogy, untouched. Yeah. I do. So this Friday is when they're available. There's, like I kind of laid it out for you where you can get it. I don't know where I'm going to get mine yet. I've got some gift cards that I've been saving up. I earn gift cards by way of go.tagjag.com/free apps and go.tagjag.com/free points. So you can earn the Star Wars movies for free if you wanted to. I may end up going with iTunes, even though it is more expensive in terms of how we access media and where we access media. iTunes might be it. Although Vudu makes a compelling argument. Number one, it's cross-platform, a good price. I've never really done anything on Vudu before, so I'd be curious to know. Ultimately, I just don't know if that's going to be the best option. If you have any Vudu experiences, I can only go by reviews of what people say about the Vudu app, and it's not good feedback at all. So that would worry me a lot. I mean, I want to get these editions, but I want to make sure I can watch them. Amazon does a decent job, but I've had issues with Amazon licensing in the past, so I'm still a little iffy on buying them on Amazon, even though I do have gift cards for them as well. So if you are buying the Star Wars digital editions, where are you planning on buying them? This is seriously, I want to know where you plan on and why. Because I think it's all about an ecosystem play. It's all about the ecosystem, not about price. It's about ecosystem. If everything you have is in Google Play, you're probably getting it through Google Play. If you're an Apple, you're probably getting it through iTunes or the Disney Movies Anywhere. Although, because of licensing and the different movie studios that are involved, A New Hope, the original Star Wars movie, is not available will not be available through Disney Movies anywhere. Google apparently now has the bundle for $89. Thank you, Glenn Q, who's watching this video live. Thank you. I didn't know they had the bundle. So that really, iTunes is $30 more expensive. And you know what? It'd be funny to see if they sold more than the other ones. iTunes is all about the media, but I'm not spending my money yet. I'll wait till Friday. They won't be available till Friday anyway. But I'm wondering if iTunes is going to make that move. I hope they do, because that's more palatable for me. Anyway, Vudu, by the way, I do believe cross-platform, and it's certainly available on iOS. Twitter, making the waves and the news and everything today. Last night, flipped on a feature such you could use it currently on iOS and in the web. It's coming to Android, obviously, but they've got a feature such that, by the way, third-party clients will be supported too. The API calls for it, so Tweetbot I expect to get updated, as well as Tweetium if you use Tweetium. For the longest time, a retweet was just you typing in RT and then somebody else's tweet. It was messy. So then they instituted a new style of retweeting. So you hit retweet and it looked like that person's account was tweeting through your account because you were basically surfacing their tweet. There's yet another style of retweeting that is coming about that allows you to quote the tweet. Currently visible in TweetDeck, not currently supported in TweetDeck outright. Currently visible on the web and the iOS client, such that if you wanted to retweet me but you wanted to add something to it, like if I said, I'm getting the Star Wars movies on iTunes, what about you? You could retweet me and also reply at the same time, so we both get acceleration. And they formatted it in such a way that it actually looks kind of decent. So you have a chance to not just retweet, but add something to that retweet as well, providing more context. And I think that's going to rise in popularity because there's so many times that I'll retweet something outright because I think, I don't want to add anything, but there are times that I want to retweet something and add context to it, add my own 2 cents. So that's a new style of retweets coming down the pike, and I think it's fantastic. If you haven't tried it yet, try it. You can try it on the web if you don't have access to an iOS device. Apple employees are going to be getting a 50% discount on the Apple Watch. Unbelievable. Man. Well, that's as much as we can say about that. That's great news for them. Not so awesome news for the rest of us. Makes you kind of wonder. That's one hell of a markup. Or Apple really wants the Apple employees to buy the watch, which I'm pretty sure they will. Because that's the best, they're not forcing people to buy the watch, but a good reason for them to wear it. And, there's no better form of advertising, certainly in an Apple store, than walking around with the product. They become the advocate. Trust me. As much as people are saying, no one's going to buy the Apple Watch. No one's going to buy it. A lot of people are going to buy the Apple Watch. You're going to see Apple Watches everywhere. Everywhere. You're going to see Apple Watches more than you're going to see iPhones. And iPads. And, well, here's the thing. If you've got an iPhone, chances are you're going to buy an Apple Watch. Just saying. But, in tow, Angela Ahrendts, who's, was brought in from Burberry a while ago, and she's basically in charge of the store experience, has told employees to encourage customers to order the watch, the Apple Watch, and new MacBooks through the Apple Store app and online through the online store, the web store, as a part of a change in mindset. So Apple's trying to do away with lines. People sleeping outside of Apple stores, waiting for product launches, and, for a good reason. They're trying to be stylish, and it just doesn't look very stylish to have people camped out in front of your store. My take on that, great, awesome, love it. I've been frustrated with every product launch because I'd rather order it online. I'd so much rather order it online than just have it shipped to me. Absolutely every single time. I wouldn't say that I've never had a good experience with waiting in line for an Apple product. Suffice it to say, I've never had a good experience. I waited in line once, and it was a total colossal fail. That was for the iPhone 5S. But good things came of it. I actually hung out with Eddie Bingham, who was visiting for on his vacation, on his holiday here. Met him for the first time in the UK. Eddie's a good person, good people, Eddie. Anyway, I vlogged that experience. That was a lot of fun. So they're trying to get rid of people waiting in line. To me, my spin on this, and this is not official Apple PR spin, my spin on this is the only people who are losing in this proposition aren't the people who wanted the product first day. Scalpers. I think scalpers are the big losers here. Apple benefits because they don't get the trashiness of people waiting outside the store, which is admittedly kind of janky. But really, more than anything, scalpers. The people who wait in line immediately to get a product that they're never going to use, that they don't want, they're just going to turn around and resell. And scalpers, honestly, have taken over a lot of that. So I think scalpers are the big losers here. Which, to tell you the truth, scalpers were the big losers to begin with. So, Andrea, I know you're not watching. I know. I'm sorry, Andrea. This is strong stuff. Angela. Well, now I know you're not watching. Well, so much for never being invited to an Apple event in the past. I will likely never be invited to an Apple event ever. You know what? Life goes on. Angela, good job. That was the right decision to make. I hate scalpers. There, I said it. I admitted it. I'm happy to admit this. One thing that I like is patrons, aka my super nomies. And there's one who happens to work with a company that's got a free Android app. It's called PowerClean. I just installed it on my Nexus 7, which is my go-to Android device. And what PowerClean will do, sorry, let me go ahead and dim the brightness here. I'm running Android 5.02, the latest version, at least for the Nexus 7. So there we go, dimmed it a bit. So what you can do with PowerClean is a variety of things. It is free, it's ad-free, it's crap-free. And what you can do is you can see how much storage you have left, your current CPU temperature, can you believe that? How much RAM is being used, how much RAM is free. You can do junk cleanup, memory boost, get device info, or go into and manage the applications and see more information, deeper information about applications that might be surfaced otherwise. So effectively, if you're looking for an Android cleaner, a system cleaner, and some people love them, some people do. So I'm not taking away from that at all. I'd always been looking for one that was more useful than it was junk. And I think more useful for me is just this information in a nutshell. If you wanted to clean up junk and you wanted to do it simply and you didn't want to have to worry about it, PowerClean may be it for you. It is available for free currently in Google Play, and you can read the reviews if you want. But they wanted me to make mention of this, and I'm very happy to make mention of this, if only because they are supportive of our endeavors. Thank you so much for being a supporter of our community. I wouldn't be able to do these kinds of things if I did not have patrons. Patrons at every level, starting at just $2 a month on up. Very, very happy to have PowerClean aboard. Give it a shot. I'll be sure to put a link for you in this video's description. I'll also tweet it out for everybody too. But I just want to let you know, PowerClean, that's available right now for free, crap free, to help you clean up crap. See, that's the thing. A lot of the cleanup tools are mostly junk, period, outright. You install this junk cleaner only to find out that it's just junk. This is not it. In having used it, this is not that type of application. It can help. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. If you got an Android device, it might need cleaned. Or you might want more information that you can't get otherwise. It's another tool. I'm addicted to apps. What can I say? There's an app for that. App for that, not nap for that, Jedi. I know you haven't napped, have you, today?
Trying.
There's not a nap for that. Oh, what do you know? Holy cow. We got a push notification. A push notification just went out from the LockerGnome app. Man, this is awesome. Thank you. The LockerGnome app. Liz must have pushed it out. The free LockerGnome app. We're going to be rebooting that, by the way. Waiting for the platform to update in a couple months, I guess. Sorry about that. You still get them? Push notifications? I've been getting them few and far between. So I don't know if that's us or the app that just doesn't work very well.
Well, I got one today.
Yeah, this one. We're live.
Yeah, I got that way earlier, though.
Oh, weird, because we're just live now. What kind of phone do you have?
Let me go check.
What are you, from the future? Okay, next on my list, what do we have? I got a lot of news. In fact, I may be saving some of it for tomorrow here. Star Trek and Green Lantern are getting a crossover comic book. It's very exciting. Having just recently kind of, gotten rekindled my fascination with comics. I just picked up a Transformers issue. I want to get into it. I just know it's going to be a very expensive hobby potentially. So I'm keeping myself corralled within the universe of Star Wars. If I can figure out a way to read the other comics without necessarily investing as much, I'd go that route. It may make sense to go the digital route for some of that stuff. Transformers, G.I. Joe, I believe published through IDW. Marvel's got the Star Wars franchise at this point. And I just read, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I just read that Marvel is going to be redoing or reissuing some of its Star Wars adaptations from their original comics. They're going to update the color and quality of the strips and then releasing it in some kind of like a compendium of sorts, like just a compilation, like an omnibus. So just stay tuned for that. I think that'll be available later this year. Fantastic stuff. Apple, by the way, sorry, I did not mean to jump. I kind of paste these links in as I go, hence me talking about the Star Trek Green Lantern crossover. For those of you who say I never talk about Star Trek, that's a lie. There you go, Cassie. Star Trek Green Lantern. It could be interesting. I wonder where that's going to go. I would get it if only to see how did that work. But it'd be funny and fascinating. I didn't know those universes could coexist. That's why I always like when fandoms kind of cross over. You didn't realize that they kind of, came together like that. So that would be an example of a series that I would likely pick up, if only to find out. What would happen with Green Lantern in the Star Trek universe? I didn't know. I had no idea. It's pretty cool, though. I think it's pretty cool. So anyway, Green Lantern, Star Trek crossover. Apple. Back to Apple. Boy, this is good stuff. No Jedi. 21 years. That's how long it's going to take. Apple's confirmed no walk-in purchase of Apple Watch. So if you're planning on walking into the store and getting it, it's not going to happen. So my suggestion for you, I guess Friday is when it happens. Friday. They're hi baby. They are. I'm sorry, Jedi was smiling at me. She likes listening to me doing this stuff. They're going to make it available for you to pre-order whichever Apple Watch and band you wanted to get. I will likely be getting one. More than anything, I'll probably be periscoping that live video feed. I'll periscope me ordering. Well, no, I won't, because I'm going to be trying to order it, online on the I'll be flipping back and forth between my Mac and the iPhone and the iPad. Like, which Apple store is going to work first? Which one? Can I get in? It's down. That's always fun to do. Not really fun. It's nerve-wracking more than anything. Oh, hun, what'd you do?
Oops, dropped R2D2.
Why are you that's not R2D2, it's Chopper. Chopper would be very upset if you knew you confused. So, plan on ordering the Apple Watch online. Don't plan on walking into the Apple store. ABC. We talked about this earlier. So this is where I'd be very wise to I know, baby. ABC, the network, not the ABCs that you haven't learned yet. Although we can learn your ABCs later. You got the Star Wars ABC book and everything. They're considering bringing back the Muppet Show. It's time to face the music. It's time to start the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to get things started on the Muppet Show tonight. Dum bum 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 bum. It's been so long since I've listened to that. Love the Muppet Show. You want to talk about fandoms, man? I got my own Muppet. It's in my workshop right over. It looks like screw it.
Hello? Hey, what's going on? I'm Chris Pirillo. My voice sounds like this normally. Huh? Yeah, I have to put a high-pass filter on my voice. Otherwise, I sounds too squeaky. Huh? Hi! Hi, everybody! Don't ask me why my mouth didn't move there. I don't know. What? What? Oh. Am I freaking you out, Jedi? I'm sorry. Your daddy is blue. Well, at least you're smiling. I wonder if they are.
She like him?
She wasn't crying.
Yeah.
That's how we know if she likes something. She's not crying. So the Muppets may be making a comeback. That would be. I would love to be an official Muppet. Someone they emailed me. I tweeted this out earlier today. It was fantastic feedback. He says, Chris, I don't know why your videos are getting fewer and fewer views or less views. He says, because they're great. They've never been better. I agree. The vlogs we're doing are great. The CPU episodes we're doing are great. I'm having fun doing show and tell. I like doing these live videos. But he says, have you ever considered doing consider being a voice actor, doing voice actor work?
Yeah.
Other people said, you'd be, I'm like, I don't know. Does the world of voice acting really need any more squeaky things? Squeaky people?
You do great acting.
Not really.
Voices. Yeah, like you do.
Where would I start?
Scooby-Doo. Mickey Mouse.
Ha ha! No, what are you talking about? I seriously, if there was I'd have to look into it, but I'd look into that, if only to be a cartoon character.
Yeah, that'd be
I think, you know what, That's now on my bucket list. I want to be a cartoon character like on Cartoon Network or Adult Swim or something. I think for that, though, you have to move to LA. No. I'd be doing it here in Seattle. I would love... This is what I want. I want to voice a Star Wars character. That's it. Even if I'm a Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper 27. You know, that's my credit, right? Stormtrooper 27. And then I'll fight for Hasbro to make a figure of me. That's what I'm telling you, man. Wouldn't that be...
Yeah.
Bucket list. Someone asked me last week in the AMA. They said, what's on your bucket list? That's now on my bucket list. Thank you for suggesting that I might become a voice actor. Which the possibility, unless I knew who I was talking to, is not going to happen. Big shout out of all my nomies out there, all of you who are watching who tune in, whether you're listening on the podcast or the live video feed or after it's live. The one of the nomies of the day today is Ross Williams. Ross sent this note. Thanks for being awesome and sharing awesome with us. You, Diana, and your entire family are good peoples. Thank you. Ross sent not just one, but two. From Marks and Spencer. It's a Darth Vader chocolate head, only available at Marks and Spencer. It was an exclusive. And I'd seen this online. I was like, how am I going to get this? So he sent two, just in case one of them broke or chipped, fell apart like some of mine had fallen apart. He sent two. This is the one. It's more steady in the base, but it did get buckled in shipping. Not that it's, going to be worth anything necessarily. It's just kind of fun to have. I have to kind of do more research on this to know whether or not I'm going to eat it. But this is great. This is awesome. This is perfect. Stays in my collection. What I'm concerned about is that this is going to get moldy. So I don't know what happens to old chocolate. I don't know if it's going to smell bad over time. I don't either, hun. I don't know. But anyway, thank you Ross. Thank you for sending two. Let me know what I owe you. I really, really appreciate it. I know Ross says, no, it's okay. No, just let me know. I really appreciate this kind of support. Love this kind of thing. Gonna do more research on the chocolates just to kind of make sure that I'm not gonna make... I'm like, what smells... If I was like walking around the workshop going, what smells funky? Jedi, come here. No, it's not her. What if it's a chocolate gone bad? I don't know. Like Girls Gone Wild, Chocolate Gone Bad. That'd be a great show, wouldn't it? Chocolate Gone Bad. Woo! I'm melting all over the place. All right. Let's see here. How are we doing on time? Oh, we are overtime. That's right. We just went overtime. Can you believe it? Just as Chris pours his second glass. By the way, these types of glasses, the way they're shaped, good for a red wine or certain kinds of red wine, but absolutely for stouts or even imperial stouts specifically. Nice glass. Well, 21 years. 21 years. Just so you know. Okay, gonna have to wait on that. I'm gonna hold on every other bit of news that I was planning on sharing with you today. I'm pretty sure I shared most everything that I wanted to share. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you for being there in whatever way you want to be there. I did talk about the Apple Watch today. I've talked about it before in different Q&A videos. I'm gonna roll into the Hangout, talk about the Apple Watch some more. So the topic of conversation for today's Hangout, patron only, is gonna be my thoughts and your thoughts on the Apple Watch. A dedicated patron exclusive. You can watch it. You can tune in live if you want. Again, your bonuses start at $2 a month in our Patreon campaign, and I appreciate that support. So I'm going to roll into that now, and that means at this point I'm going to leave you to your own devices.